This is Frank Film. It's the story of my life from the beginning 71, up to the present and 70 into the future. 69 of 68. Perhaps considering the speed of it, I should call it fast Frank Film. 65. Basically, 64, what it is that I've been saving images for the past 5 or 6 years. All the things that appeal to me because I like them. 58. And sometimes I like them just because they look nice, and other times 55. I like them because they mean something special 53. To me. 52. I'll start at the beginning. I was 50. Born in Key West, Florida. 48. My father was in a naval station there. 46. And 45. I was the first of 5 September 6th, 1944. Me. I guess the last time to be born was almost Francis Peterman, 1940. Michael Joseph, and I enjoyed being the first of 5 kids because that means I got spoiled for 5 years. And I had a very strict religious upbringing, which I feel helped me in my work later. It gave me Jesus, Mary, and asceticism, Calvinism, Pope John, or Pope almost a Protestant work engine, even though it was a super Catholic environment. And we lived in rather comfortable middle class surroundings. Things got better and better each year. Both my parents had been brought up during the Depression. Things were sort of good and they both worked very hard while we were growing up. Each year that I grew up, things got better and we had more things around the house. Low frequency. I enjoy having things around and I like looking at them. And I still do, so I save them. And one of the things I would really like then, and I still like now, food is one of my favorite things because you can look at it and then you can eat it and enjoy it. And sort of bring it inside. Flying eggs. Fresh hash. There just is never enough food to satisfy me. And I like animals. Frozen TV dinner. I always had a dog, Fido, or a fish, or a favorite elephant at the zoo. We had a parakeet. And Langford. I have a dog now. Fluffy. I think I probably always have some kind of animal. First grade. First day of school. Fine cut. I guess I'm thinking about the time I started to go to school and smoking in the back of the bus and swearing and telling jokes and eating and drinking and eating some more. I think one of my favorite times was lunchtime, just to see what was in my lunchbox. And desserts were never instantly flank steak, fritters, flapjack. Food just constantly is there. From an early age, I always wanted to go work at my father's gas station, to cry and say, Daddy, please let me come and work in your gas station. And he finally let me, and I used to go and work there every Saturday when school got out. Then there got to be a point where I didn't want to go, and I almost used to cry to stay home. But I'd become enamored of automobiles, not independent. I couldn't do anything to fix them, filling station, fill her up, and then I had the usual sexual fantasies, full-blown which I won't go into too specifically to visually pervert. Funny bone, and faults. I discovered other people, forbidden finger do. I had a number of finger crushes. I love you, girls in school. And first love, for the first time I started relating to people outside me. I'd always been very private up to that point. Ruth, never shared anything with anyone outside the family. But Ellen, have one girl after another, I'd fall madly in love with Louise, some feature or some Jane, feature. Marianne, follow her everywhere, and in general be a pet. But sometimes I succeeded in accomplishing what I wanted to. And I thought that it was nice to be around girls, and I thought maybe someday I would do something, say in fashion or makeup or something that would allow me to constantly work on them and shape them in the image I had of them. I liked working with my hands. Whatever it was I eventually ended up doing would be with my hands. Fiddle around. Because I felt that even though I saw things with my eyes, I was firmly flesh tone, I was very involved, full of grace. After a while, in clothes, like how I looked to other people. I was very concerned with the kinds of things one should have that you should put on. And I was concerned with the social growth, like dancing. I took all our dance classes very seriously. Wore my most outrageous outfits to school dances, fancy footwear. And then it was time to go to college, and I went to college, and I started getting a rather swell impression of how great I was. That faded, and I was not too successful at sports. So I got into just sort of socializing with other people for the first time, rather than just tracking down one person and going after them. I just tried to be with people socially, and that opened up another whole world for me. Up until then, I was a loner, or someone who chased one girl, but at college I sort of learned to talk to other people. Although I was still pretty studious, I spent most of my time studying, wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do. I thought I would be a teacher. I had no idea at that point that I'd end up in graphic design as a graduate student. I thought maybe I would write letters to people as a profession. That's just something I enjoy doing. So while I was in college, I had to major in something. So I studied architecture, and I got carried away with it for a couple of years. I thought that was really what I was meant to do. And yet, I slowly began to realize that you can't build a building all by yourself. So I got wooed away from architecture before I graduated and decided that art was the answer. I would be a painter or a sculptor, because then you can do the thing entirely yourself. I would be the new Andy Warhol or whatever. There's a brief political phase in college that lasted 3 weeks. For God and country, for freedom. Then came a very confusing time. I didn't know where all this was leading up to. I didn't know where I should go to graduate school or what would happen. Everything just sort of stopped. And it just sort of ground to a halt. And then slowly I just sort of rebuilt myself. I decided to go to graduate school and learn something vaguely mechanical, whereas graphic design, but it was also visual and aesthetic. And through that I got interested in photography, and then suddenly through photography I got interested in filmmaking, specifically animation, and all of a sudden there it was. That was what I really wanted to do, was to work with animated images and make my world with them. And so for my 3 years in graduate school, I just played around with different ways to animate different kinds of 40 frames a foot, and hopefully they would be things that hadn't even been animated before. So that was about halfway through my great saving up period of all these images, and that led to my fantasies of what would happen when all of that came together, and I was sending my films to international film festivals and winning awards. Being a fat cat surrounded by people who would light my cigarettes and offer me a drink. Academy Award. Yes, that was a great film. We can't wait for your next one. And first class all the way. That's about as far into the future as I can fantasize, and then it leaves me first and foremost. Feeling satisfied because I think I can make it now. And I just sort of think of all the things that have been in my life so far, and they all just sort of come flowing over me. And 55, 56, they sort of present themselves to you in your recollections of what I talked about. 63, and all I can say is this is the beginning. This is the first film you'll see, and there'll be plenty of others to follow. And hopefully they'll all be sound by Tony Schwartz. Produced by Caroline Alfors Morris, created by Frank Morris. The end, just sort of preparing you for those.